putting a bit of the pressure on with his kicking game as well. So I think some credit needs to go there. But Gigo was the star of the show, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, we were quite critical when Drinkwater was signed, wasn't it? I mean, it was a bit. We thought it was a stopgap with Walsh not being.
I think the problem is he's just been relegated every time he's played.
Yeah, exactly. Hence our pessimism, I think. But yeah, obviously he had two assists, didn't he, for the both of their first two tries with kicks, and yeah, he's been pretty good for him, and he's that kind of he's the foil, isn't he, to the kind of the more flamboyant approach to like Gigo or people like that. He can move you around the park. He can be a dependable kicker, and he can do you a job. And they've definitely been a better team since he came in.
Oh, without a doubt, because they didn't have a halfback before that. Well, they weren't picking any halfbacks anyway.
Well, they were forcing Lange to do what he tries to do.
But
yeah,
they were letting the rest of them go and play for the St Estèphe side and be winning all the games in France in the local domestic league.
I can't argue with the Dragons really. They're beating the teams around them. They're beating the teams that they would hope to beat at home, and obviously the crowds are picking up. You can't argue with that kind of crowd. So there's an air of optimism as much as Mac Banana isn't exactly the answer at coach, but yeah, he's the team has picked up and they've definitely responded to something or other. So they're in with a shout for the 8 in my eyes.
They do have like a drive again in the forwards. Casty's playing so well.
Yeah.
And Mikael Seaman started this game really well, I thought, as well. Even though probably, Widnes definitely did get the better of the first 20 minutes, but I think a couple of these guys are playing a lot better. Sam Moa's a real driving force. Kenny Edwards off the bench is providing him quite a bit of physicality as well as a bit of flash of flair in that back row. The moral vacuum, and yeah, Anthony Maria. To be honest, I was writing him off, but last couple of times I've seen him, he's not been shit. So that's about the best thing I could say.
Listen, this thing
I was ready to write him off.
Yeah, I thought I think Julian, when I've ever seen him playing, he's been really solid and kind of looking dangerous on the edges. So there are some rays of sunshine for Catalan. It's not as doom and gloom as it was about 6-8 weeks ago. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, they're in a hell of a lot better position than the Vikings are right now.
Certainly, yeah. One player from the Vikings I do really rate is Jay Chappell. How I think he can really become something in this game, and I hope that his talent is nurtured and developed and all of that, because I do like him very much. Okay, stats for the teams. Although they made one fewer clean break, Catalans made 391 more metres at a big 1.8 metres per carry better average gain, so basically physically trampled the Widnes side. They also made a couple more errors but conceded a couple less penalties, so getting that under control, and they tackled at 5% better team tackle success.
Yeah,
bringing us right back to the trampling over the top of them theme. Individually on the stats, Tony Gigo had a try, 9 tackles, 145 metres, 2 clean breaks. Julien Bousquet had 165 metres and 6 successful offloads despite a 10-minute spell in the sin bin. The latest player to come up with a mistimed tackle this week. I think we had one in almost every game. The only sin bin game that didn't have a sin bin was the Saints game this weekend. Lewis Tierney, 141 metres for Yarhart, a try, and 102 metres for him. Really neat finish on that try, kind of as the game was over.
Yeah.
Everyone had forgotten that there was still
everyone was
to worry
convinced
about.
It was out, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it was a really good finish by him. Individually for the Widnes side, Jay Chappell worked hard both ways. A try, 50 tackles, 110 metres. Reece Hambury with a try, 5 tackles, 2 clean breaks. So if I'm scratching around for numbers like that, it's not been a great day. Charlie Runciman, 128 metres, and Pat Arvan, his winger, 110 metres. So the exciting standings that brings us to, Al. Saints stretched their lead at the top to 6 points. And we missed last week that they're officially safe from the middle eight, so congratulations to St Helens.
Well done, Saints.
For ticking off that big concern that they had hanging over that cloud, yeah. Wigan hold on to second on 24 points. Warrington and Castleford make up the top four. They're both on 22 points. Hull FC lead the chase on 20 points in 5th place. Wakefield have moved up to 6th now on 16. They've overtaken Leeds, who are on 15. Huddersfield make up the top 8 on 13. Catalans are just outside the top 8. They're on 12 points and have a game in hand on the Giants, so things could change there. I think that game in hand is against Leeds. I might be guessing there though. Salford, Hull KR and Widnes are the bottom 3. Bit worried about the bottom 3 now in terms of turning anything around in the last 7 / 8 games of the season.
I think they're the bottom 3. I think
the next 4, the group of the next 4 do you feel like Wakefield are still in that group of 4 playing for the bottom, the last 8 spots in the top 8, or one more win I think and they can count themselves safe, do you feel?
Well, so Catalan are just outside on 12, so they've got 2 clear wins on them and probably a better points difference, haven't they? So I think Wakefield are going to fall between those 2 stools, and I think they might end up finishing 6th actually. I think they can get themselves up for performances. As I said, they've beaten the top 2 teams at home, and I can't see them. I think they'll win another couple of games at least and secure themselves in 6th. I think it's a scrap. And I see Leeds finishing 7th. I think it's Huddersfield and Catalan is the interesting one about finishing 8th in my head.
Leeds need some bodies back in, don't they, really?
Well, yeah, they do. I mean,
they've lost a lot at the same position, which is never easy to handle, and it's kind of still going on to some extent there. But they should have enough quality to pick up enough wins. Do you feel? Leeds have got the potential to beat the top sides, even on an off day, because they've done it so many times. I think that's the thing with Leeds.
They just need to get some bodies back, and as you say, players stop getting themselves banned for stupid things, and they need a bit of a break with injuries, but yeah, you're right. They can pull out any result. Can Leeds, which you don't necessarily think of Huddersfield and Catalan. So I still see them finishing 7th, but I think their injuries will stop them finishing any higher than that, to be honest.
So Huddersfield and Catalan, then for you it's between. I still keep Leeds in this conversation because of the injuries rolling on and on and on.
Oh yeah,
the form of Huddersfield and Catalan may make Wakefield potentially under threat, but I just think I can't see Huddersfield and Catalan both overtaking Wakefield. I think that's the thing I'm struggling to see. So I think Catalans and Huddersfield might sneak in here. I think it's dangerous to predict that Leeds are going to pick up more wins until they get the bodies back, and I don't really know that they're all going to... It's going to be exciting, I think, between those 4 sides. But yeah,
I think that's where the biggest interest is, isn't it, initially, and then we'll...
Well, do you not think in the top 4 as well? I mean, obviously the top 4, the intrigue to the top 4 holds until the Super 8s, doesn't it? Because we're waiting to finalise the semi-finalists, because the extra home game is helpful, but it's not necessarily going to make or break your season with these 4 sides now separated by 4 points. So some huge games coming up. Wigan's next 4 games include Hull, Castleford and Warrington.
Right. So, well, there you go. That's there you go. They're going to define all your seasons, aren't they?
If Wigan can pick up 2 wins out of those and win the Leeds game in the middle of those, you've got to suggest that Wigan are probably set for an extra home game. But if Wigan keep going the way they're going, worrying times. Okay, let's find out some predictions and Super etc. results. I went 4 out of 6 last week. It was Wigan who let me down, so I'm at a total of 67 so far this season cumulatively. The co-hosts, Sarah pulled a blinder for you by switching her prediction to Wakefield rather than the prediction.
And you did it. It was your fault, wasn't it?
And so that meant 5 out of 6. Yeah, 5 out of 6. So it's all square again, 67 apiece. In the Super Rugby, James Hutchinson stays top. He's doing a great job this season. Michael Hawkins is the man wearing the yellow cap, though, so well done to Michael. New name on me, so make sure you get in touch with some game reviews and stuff like that, Michael, if you're listening. In the Dream Team, Alan Bagley stays top and is extending his lead too. He had the best weekly score in the league this week. I had the 3rd best score. I'm not doing too bad, but I'm in the top 10 now, Alan. I'm proud of my mid-season surge, but Alan Bagley is absolutely dominating things. So that is the Super League well and truly covered in much detail with a little mini rant slid in there for everyone too. We're now going to move on to other results from around the world of rugby league. Other results time then, and we're going to start like we normally do with the Championship, where it was round 16 and there was a couple of games on Saturday from our international friends in the Championship. Toulouse beat Batley 42 points to 26 to solidify their place in the table. Toronto, their first home game at Lamport Stadium with its bright new green grass and very vibrant pitch markings, they helped themselves to a 32 points to 12 win over London. A couple of people got in touch, one man watching on TV and one who was our man on the ground.
One man on the ground indeed. So Brian Davies says a bit of a scrappy game around the play of the ball, which made it seem a bit stop-start. Toronto got off to a good start before London got going and then finished them off just after the break. Toronto managed the game well, while London's poor kicking game ruled out a comeback. 7,300 in the crowd. How many Super League clubs would love that for a visit by London? I can think of one or two.
Yeah, maybe four.
Yeah. And Dr. Hideous says, so he was there. He was enjoying the Canadian hospitality, wasn't he? So
yeah, if you checked out the Super League Pod Instagram over the weekend, Dave has been definitely sharing some of the experiences from the Canadian side of things. So thanks for Dave on that. But what did he have to say about the game?
So he said about the game, he said, so Broncos' attack just isn't working, and when the Wolfpack play clean, they're tough to beat. But never mind that. Really friendly fans, players mingling in the beer garden afterwards, club owners down the pub with the fans before the match, good touristing, an absolutely cracking holiday. When your team plays here, go. So there you go. And I saw today he was at the... was it the Toronto Blue Jays today as well, I think?
Last night, I think he was at the Toronto Blue Jays, yep.
So, yeah, making the most of his
himself
trip.
out to the ball game. He had nice seats behind home plate. Yeah, this game, Toronto were definitely the better side. London, their attack just isn't what it was at the start of the year. I'm not really sure why, because individually, none of the halfbacks and creative players seem to be playing terribly badly. Individually, it's just they're not seeming to... They don't have players in motion as much, it feels like, and they don't seem to be scoring any sort of long-range tries. And a couple of the Rhys Williams is starting to look a bit slow. I don't know if it's just me, because he's been cracking for them and stuff, but he's starting to look a bit slow. And Walker at fullback hasn't been involved in the last few games I've seen him. He hasn't involved himself in the play enough. So interesting to see what London do. Maybe they need to stir things up with a loan signing or two or something, but Toronto were definitely the better side in this game, that's for sure, despite a shocking hairdo on Blake Wallace. Okay, Sheffield 18, Swinton Lions 29. Joe Brown made his first senior appearance on dual reg from Wigan there, and Josh Woods ran the show, obviously. Leith 36, Halifax 30, an absolute cracker. We got a game reviewing on this one.
Yeah, so Brian Davis said, listen to this on Proper Sport, very exciting game. Start was tentative with too many errors, but picked up after about 20 minutes and ended 6-6 at half-time. Second half, both sides came out to play, and it was end-to-end with 30 all with 5 to go. Then Craig Hall clinched it. Top four looking tasty now. Just over 3,800 there with 500 from Fax. That puts Toronto's crowd into context.
Yeah, basically, there's like twice as many, weren't there, at Toronto, pretty much. Good attendance though at Lee in the Championship there for them. That's about what they do. But well done to the sides for delivering an exciting game.
Yeah, back and forwards, wasn't it?
And what was the discipline like? Because normally only one sin bin in it was for holding down. So professional foul. That's all. Kieran Moss did play fullback for Fax in this one. So there you go. Right. Into Dewsbury 18, Featherstone 42. So Featherstone pushing for that top four with that win. Barrow 20, Rochdale 6. That was the last game to come in on the results from this weekend in the Championship, and that all means Toronto stay top on 29 points, leading Toulouse, who are on 24 points. Featherstone rise up to third, they're on 22. Halifax are on 21. And London fall out of the top 4, I think, for the first time this season. They're tied now in 6th place with Leigh on 20 points. There's a gap then to 7th and 8th place Batley and Barrow, who are on 14 and 13 respectively. They're kind of just hanging around, kind of having an irrelevant year, aren't they? Sadly for them.
Well,
Dewsbury,
safe.
Dewsbury are 9th on 9 points. Sheffield are on 8 points in 10th. Swinton are back off the bottom again on 6 points, but they're only ahead of Rochdale